If you're not too busy still setting up the network, perhaps you could come show me how to activate the viewport. I am, in fact, too busy. He's still setting it up. Well, here's an idea. Press F1. My keyboard is missing the F1 key. Lies. Don't bother me, I'm not in the mood. If I see one more snarl of wires, kind of jutting out and being tangled or whatever, I'm going to perform some sort of athletic somersault off the deep end and get a call from the president or some shit. So go away. You used to like to talk more. If I recall, I was typically the one who would solicit reprieves from your nonsense. Oh, I don't know what happened. That was before I knew we were all going to die, and no one believed me, and now look at you all believing me suddenly. Uncanny. Then why are you doing this, setting up these stations for us? To get you all off my bulge about it. But I won't troll any one of them personally, no way. Kinda juvenile. But you guys knock yourselves out, okay? See the menu up top? Fiddle around with it till you open the viewport. I did fiddle with it to no avail. If you can't figure it out by fucking around, you don't belong near computers. Kind of like with, man, it's hard to read these. Registered sex offenders in schools. If you move to a new town, you have to go up to your neighbor's door and warn them about how stupid you are and give them a chance to hide all their innocent technology and vandalize your house. Rose and Dave shut up and jam. Oh, I can push button! I can push button! Nice! Buttons. Okay, I guess that was the last song. Dave shows you some of his sweet gear. Wow, he's so cool. Rose, first be the pony, second follow Mom. You are now the pony. You stand outside some ruins, which your beloved master's mother entered recently. Outside you find a striking scarcity of oats or greenery or anything at all that is delicious to chew on. This is as compelling a reason as any to follow her inside. Maplehoof enters. You go in the ruins. Your clopping hooves echo throughout the cavernous, foreboding environment, but you're too stupid to be nervous. Your powerful snout detects the scent of Rose's mom. She went this way. Maplehoof follows the scent. Good grief, look at all this grist. A large and terrible monster must surely have been slain here. Maplehoof collects grist. She picks up all the grist and stores it in Rose's grist cache. This is entirely too much grist of too many exotic types for such a low-level player, but you'll take it. You don't look a gift horse in the pink heart tattoo. Nice. The grist overflow is gathered by the grist cutter utility supplied by the grist torrent. It is stored and gradually redirected to other players. Maplehoof proceeds. Rose's mom stands on a small platform and disappears. You're a little nervous about transportalizing yourself as a quadruped grizzly bisection strikes you as a very real possibility, even though you're too dumb to think of such things. John, first be the hat, second find Dad. Rose stops being the pony just in time for John to start being the hat. The breeze carries you to where you need to go. You settle in front of a man in sore need of a fresh hat. He gathers the clean hat along with a shoe he found through similarly serendipitous means to replace the one he lost. John visits Rose's alchemeter. You decide to try out the code Dave Sprite gave you. John makes the item. This thing is huge. It cost a fortune, 500,000 pieces of build grist, garnets, diamond, and gold, and a single piece of quartz. There's no way you can make that, let alone wield it, even with your ghost gloves. That is huge. John shrinks it down. He uses the alchemeter's scaling upgrade to reduce it to a more manageable and affordable size. He makes a weapon called Fear No Anvil. That's cool. John pesters Dave Sprite. So what is it, the thing the code made? Really powerful hammer. How do you know? I thought you couldn't use hammers. I can't. Better be, though. Got it from Hephaestus. Who's that? Really tough to kill dude. You killed him for it? Nope. How do you get it then? Shenanigans. Okay. Rose checks out Dave's computer. It seems you have a visitor. Oh, hey. Neat. TA fixes GA's computer. There's nothing to fix, just got to open the viewport, it's easy. Rose examines the laptop. Someone has been using your Pester Chum account, and you somehow doubt the culprit was this young, upright amphibian presently throwing a fit. Rose goes to find John. She hurries to the door so she can catch John before he goes gallivanting off somewhere. But it seems her door is ajar. Funny, she doesn't remember leaving the door ajar, even though it's sort of absurd for you to take note of such a thing, considering John recently left your room. Oh well, it doesn't matter. You will now proceed through this door uneventfully. Rose proceeds through the door uneventfully. She gets dumped on by a bucket full of hellacious blue phlegm aneurysm gushers, as a thoughtful but mischievous thank you gesture from John. Your prankster's gambit plunges to an all-time low. You cannot hope to defeat Egbert in a prank-off. He is simply the best there is. John equipped a trusty rocket. Rose obviously isn't waking up anytime soon, so he might as well take some time to explore, and maybe stop by again later. Why, Dr. Malgon? Do you want to come along for the ride? It sure looks that way. Okay, hop aboard then. Adventure awaits. John blasts off. Where's he off to now? At least you have this little fellow here to keep you company. You will name him Viceroy Bubbles von Salamancer. Dave be the puppet. You have no idea what the hell that means. But yeah, you can kiss that obnoxious puppet goodbye. Maybe now you can get a decent night's sleep. Why is it moving so slow? Oh well. Okay, this is the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen. What is taking place here is almost certainly illegal. You're not sure which laws are being broken, but it is probably a law. AR follows. John explores. He spies a boat on the shore of one of the islands below. He wonders who could be out here, rowing in the middle of the ocean. John investigates. Hoofprints in the sand. The mystery deepens. John enters. There are many frightening and powerful monsters in here. John aggresses. He stuns them with the cool time powers of his awesome new hammer, and then dispatches them swiftly. John collects the spoils. The good Dr. Spengler helps him gather the wreckages. John proceeds. There's a platform over here. He guesses he'll just go stand on it. Oh wow, it just made him disappear. Neat. John explores the lab. Now what in the hell is going on here? John explores the lab further. Now what in the hell is going on here? Who cares? Just ride the pony already. Yes, fuck yes, hell fucking yes. But seriously, what in the hell is going on in here? But seriously, keep exploring. He finds a sweet get-up. It's almost as if it was tailor-made for him. How weird would that be? He puts it on. He equips the junior ectobiologist's lab suit. He examines a nearby station. Now what in the hell is going on here? Of course it's obvious what's going on in here. It's another one of those 4-monitored house-shaped terminal thingies. AR resists the urge to ride the brother's rocket board. He fails to resist the urge. He starts thrashing up stunts, something uncanny brutal, on his quest for mad justice, and gets this way rude municipality under control. Shit is basically flying off the hook. It's like shit wants nothing to do with that hook. The hook filed for divorce from that shit and is now seeking custody of the hook and the shit's 2 kids. The AR hops a fucking wheelie. These hops are unreal. Shit this flagrant should be illegal. It probably is, but he doesn't care. The PM prepares to depart for the battlefield. She's traveled to Prospect's moon aboard a shuttle headed for the battlefield, where she will seek counsel of the White King. Hey, it's him! Nice. You've unwittingly been tailed by a nefarious courtyard troll from Dares. He attempts to pick the parcel Aiden's pocket. He pilfers the White Queen's ring. The parcel mistress departs. None the wiser, you board the shuttle. Next stop, Skya. You receive an incoming message from the draconian dignitary. You tell him you've got the ring. He says good. Bring it to him while he waits for an update from the hegemonic brute who's been tracing the king's movements down on the battlefield. He asks if you're still wearing that ridiculous outfit. He says you don't have to anymore, by orders of the Sovereign Slayer. You say you'd still rather wear the outfit. He's got nothing to say about that. Clobber! Additional pummeling. Dead Grandpa Smackdown. Sweet! Catch! It's too late, she's gone. You'll have to remember to deliver it later somehow. The best way to remind yourself is that you're carrying a ring is to put it on your finger. Of course that was just an imaginary transformation, since the ring doesn't work like that on humans. It was fun to pretend, though. Let me see that again. Nice. Meanwhile, in a timeless expanse, somewhere, a war-weary villain whose eternal struggle between beauty and royalty. The battlefield holds little promise for the peaceful life of a simple farmer. He rises up. Rose alchemizes a whole bunch of cool stuff. Shit, let's be Santa. Combine hub and laptop. Hub top. That one was pretty obvious. Combine bronzed vacuum and umbrella. Useless, but you're still getting warmed up. Combine salamander and the Eldritch Plus. You make a huggable soft salamander plush. You award it to the Viceroy on account of good behavior. Combine the ink bottle and the gushers. You make a box of bodacious black liquid sorrow gushers. Another Crocker nightmare rears its ugly head. The ink reverses the healing properties of the blue phlegm. These are pure poison. Combine the hub top and the hairband. Nice. You make the hub top band a convenient hands-free computing device. You can combine the magnetic W and a bottle of vodka. Oh god. You make a bottle of magnetic vodka. In addition to having high alcohol content, the liquid inside appears to have magnetic properties. You guess this could be useful? You combine a wizard statue and a ball of yarn. You make a ball of silken wizard beard yarn with magical properties. It has magical properties because it is made of a wizard. Maybe you can make something with magical properties that is more useful than this. Combine wizard statue and knitting needles. You get a pair of needle wands. They crackle with the magic energies. It's time to make something cool to wear. Combine knittings and velvet pillow and squid shirt. Make a stylish velvet squiddle net dress. You combine the needle wands and the grimoire. You make the thorns of Oglogoth. The needles seem to shiver with the dark desires of the Deep One. Any sane adventurer would cast these instruments of the occult into the furthest ring and forget they existed. Aggrieve the encroaching malefactors. Welcome to the party, motherfuckers. Jade builds. She takes advantage of Dave's nap to make some architectural headway on his building. She's really proud of her You are really proud of your floor plan. It is so cool. Speaking of naps, you've been asleep for some time yourself. You suppose you'd better wake up soon. But then your neighbor in the other tower is supposed to be waking up soon too, and it sure would be a shame if you weren't around to greet him. Dave wakes up and jams. And by jam, you mean alchemize, of course. Whoa, your house is huge suddenly. Anyway, let's get this party started. Combine sunglasses and iPhone. He makes a pair of eye shades. This one was really obvious because future Dave had a pair, but he took them with him when he prototyped himself, so now you have a pair too, so that's cool. Dave combines timetables and computer. He makes the turn top. Convenient computing on the go, sort of like you have with your eye shades, but with all your important files and apps on there, not to mention Spurb. Plus maybe it has some weird time powers, you have no idea, you'll mess with it later. Dave combines Puppet Tux and Smuppet. Oof. He upgrades the Puppet Tux future Dave made. He probably made it by combining one of your bros' badass marionette suits with your shirt and scaling it up to fit. That's how you would have made it anyway. You add a Smuppet to the mix to make a softer and more stylish red plush puppet tux. It is like walking around in snuggly pajamas, action pajamas. Combine the broken palette scratch and rusty ruby contraband. You combine a couple more items you got from future Dave's loot stash, the broken form of Khaled Scratch and some ruby contraband, whatever the hell that is. The resulting item costs a fortune. You have no idea what it is. You preview the item with the holopad. Broken Scarlet Rivetar. You momentarily reconfigure your alchemeter upgrades to make use of the holopad extension. You pop the card in the slot and check it out. The combination would produce the broken Scarlet Rivetar. You combine the whole Khaled Scratch and ruby contraband. Out of curiosity, you try it again with the whole sword. You dial back Khaled Scratch's little turntable, rewinding the sword to a point in its history before it was broken. You then combine it with the red frog thingy to show the complete Scarlet Rivetar. There's no way you can afford to make that yet. It costs even more now. Maybe you'll stick to combining items around your house for now, rather than stuff from your future Silodex. It'll probably be less confusing that way and probably less expensive. Combine Shitty Sword and Helijaff Drawing. Sword. You use one of your bros' really shitty swords from the fridge and a printout of Helijaff to make a sword. This thing is unspeakably shitty and you are having a hard time even holding it. Come on! Combine Snoop Dogg photo and mini AC and Khaled Scratch. Snoop Dogg Snow Cone Machete. You make the Snoop Dogg Snow Cone Machete. When photos drop it like it's hot, just turn up the Blazizzle nozzle so they choose lax for Rizzle. Combine skateboard and Helijaff drawing. Unreal Air! You make Unreal Air. And there it goes. It's ridiculous what kind of air this thing is getting. Dude, come get the ruler, check this out. Yeah, it's not coming back. Dave makes another one. He just makes another one. He quickly stashes it in a card so it can't escape from above. He combines the Game Bro magazine and the timetables. He turns back the clock and makes a vintage Game Bro. He thinks he remembers this one from his bro's stash. It's a classic. Dave combines the Batarang and the Midnight Crew poster. He makes a whole pile of Sudarangs because they're really cool and pretty cheap. He combines the plush puppet tux and a Midnight Crew poster. He makes the 4 aces suited. He isn't really sure which one he likes better. The red one is softer while the black one is sort of stiff and starchy. Anyone wearing this suit is all business. Maybe he'll switch it up as his mood dictates. He combines the tux and the felt poster. This would make the felt duds, if you had some of whatever the green grist is. Combines Smuffet and felt poster. He makes a jutting out and impudent felt plush. He does an acrobatic fucking pirouette off the handle and into his heart, and he into yours. Combine Dead Things in Amber and a Smuppet. Foam Mutant Smuppet encased in amber. You make a Foam Mutant Smuppet encased in amber. Now we're getting somewhere. Combine Dead Things in Amber and Smuppet. Ooh. Amber Mutant Smuppet Abomination. For the sake of science, you or combine them instead of and combine. You make an Amber Mutant Smuppet Abomination. So cool. Now this is how you make shit work. Egbert and Lalone should be taking notes. Combine fetus in a jar and Mr. T puppet. Foam fetal Mr. T in a jar. You make the foam fetal Mr. T in a jar. Another back-breaking victory for science. You're looking pretty chill with your new freak show entourage. The underlings all look kind of put off by it, though. You're kind of weirding them out. Combine camera and capture log card. Capturoid camera. You make the Capturoid camera. You can use it to snap a ghost image of any object without capture-logging it. Spits it out on a brand new capture log card every time. Could be a useful way to take a large inventory of anything you encounter without cluttering up your Sylladex. Also for grabbing codes for stuff you can't ordinarily pick up. Dave takes a photo of himself. He takes one of his patented ironic cool guy self-portraits. Man, so cool. That's really all there is to say on the matter. Combine fetus in a jar and self-portrait photo. Dave's brain in a jar. That would apparently make Dave's brain in a jar. Gross. It costs a king's ransom, though, because, of course, the organ is virtually inimitable. Doesn't stop you from capturoiding its hologram, though. Capturoid the hologram of your own brain. That's probably the weirdest thing you've ever done, but okay. Combine brain. and drawing and capturoid camera. You make the Spogifier. Finally, something useful. It costs you 1,000 units of artifact grist. You try it out. Look, it automatically prints out a comic in some way related to whatever you take a picture of. That should save you a lot of time, specifically the 5 minutes it takes you to draw a comic. You're a busy guy. You make copies of Rose's journals. You can't forget the most important thing he came up here to make. Gotta be getting his snoop on. He takes a look. One book is titled Meow, and the other is titled Complacency of the Learned. He wonders what could be in Meow. He reads it. To no surprise at all, this book is full of more meow letters. Looks like Rose is totally nuts. What else is new? He guesses he'll try out the other book. Looks like it's just some sort of creative writing project. Dave reads Complacency of the Learned. Fricklish bothered his beard as if kinking a hitch in a long silk windsock. A more pedestrian audience would parse the exhibit as nervous compulsion, behavior to traditional contempt. Cool. This wizard story seems really involved and kind of confusing. You'll have to save your place and dig into it later, and then maybe ask Rose what the hell the deal with it is. Dave goes to get a bookmark. He returns to his room in search of a bookmark. Oh hey, finally a use for that pointless juice-stained beta that will never serve any purpose, past or future. He drops it in the John in case he's looking for some reading material later. Dave checks on Rose. Dave pesters. Whoa, why are you burning your wizard fanfiction? I'm not. This book contains a genetic code. Oh, okay. Then why are you burning that? The gods from the furthest ring asked me to. Is that some dumb wizard thing you just made up, or something to do with tentacle monsters? I can't keep track of what you like anymore. How did you know I wrote a story about wizards anyways? John told me. He was all snooping around your room while you were asleep, and I was like, no, man, don't. So not cool. And he was like, haha, dude, check it out. This book is full of wizard slash. And I was like, I don't even want to know. It's such a crazy violation of privacy. This story sounds suspicious. Do you want me to chew him out about it? I will, because that was so outrageous. I don't know where he got off being like that. No, I don't actually mind. Too bad I missed him. I thought you hated wizards. What's the deal with that? I like wizards. What I don't like is my mother's obsession with feigning interest in them to antagonize me. Oh man, that's so messed up that you think that. She probably digs wizards for real just like you, and you're blowing shit out of proportion like pretty much always. You and she could probably have been chatting up how awesome wizards were this whole time, but no. You're probably earning your nutjob meow book to spite her, so aren't you? No, I told you, it's one of the gene sequences locked in my subconscious. The gods say it's critical to destroy it. Oh yeah, I thought that was a joke. When did they say that? When I was asleep. You mean when we were dancing and stuff in our dreams? Yes, when I flew into your tower, I heard them. They're far above in the dark sky. I've never seen or heard things in my dreams. Aren't you often distracted by music and puppets? Yeah. Have you ever looked into the sky without your shades? No, what a ridiculous question. Maybe you should try it out sometime. You're the Prince of the Moon. I'm sure they've been meaning to seek a royal audience. What do all these dots mean? Dunno. Anyway, yeah, I guess I'll do that. Get some sky monsters to boss me around sounds cool. Dave Sprite also pesters. So really, why are you burning that? I just explained this to other Dave. Do I have to explain everything to you twice now? No, I know. I'm using Dave's spare computer. I saw the whole conversation through his PesterChum account. Oh, I see. So instead of having to double explain, I merely have to put up with being double spied upon. What a relief. I just mean you didn't burn that book in the future. That book was completely useless. I know, but now it's not. You appeared to make it relevant by traveling to the past. So does that mean the sleeping thing worked? You remember the things? The future? I remember some things. Okay, cool. So why is the cat code so terrible now? I don't know, but the gods were pretty emphatic about it. Well, okay, I guess it's done, but why are you so sure they're right? Have you ever known them to be wrong? I guess not, but they sort of freak me out. I mean, listening to gross space mutants all day isn't my idea of an awesome time. Especially the ones that sing, oh god. Is that why you always keep the music turned up? No, I flip out to little ill jams because they kick ass, obviously. I guess we'll chalk another riddle up in this solved column. Yeah, case the fuck closed. Are you talking to future me? Yes. Okay, I'm out of the loop again. Between you taking orders from dream beasts and birdwing me with, like, future secrets, I'm doing some sort of spectacular fucking jackknife off the loop, and I'm getting a wink and a nod from Barack Obama. I'm coming upstairs, okay? Dave chills with Dave Sprite. So it was pretty funny how I made a copy of Rosa's evil book right before she burned it, and now she doesn't know about it. I know, it's kind of crazy what kind of foresight this guy has. I'm telling you, coincidences like that are unreal. They don't even happen. Most of the time. The best thing about how I did that is how it in no way will ever come back to bite us in the ass ever. Dude, our shit is safe. So safe. Gonna sleep pretty sound tonight with that big fucking payload of safety you just dropped on us. Gonna be all hugging my pillow and shit, grinning like a goddamn bear full of honey. Safer than some Flintstone vitamins in a bottle. Keep twisting, Junior, all you get is clicks. Asshole thinks it's candy, doesn't even know he just epped on a security rake and got a face full of fucking safety. Yeah, anyway, guess I'll go back down and burn that book. Alright. Dave goes back in time to stop the thief. It looks like he already tried that. Whoever took those books was pretty cold-blooded dude. He figures he'll cool it on the time travel for a while, doesn't want to see the Dave corpses start to pile up, especially if one of them winds up being him. Dave throws himself out the window. He ditches the body before Jade sees it. That would probably freak her out. John presses a button on the control panel. He presses one of the nearby buttons. It activates the upper right monitor. The view is locked on a particular location on Earth at a particular date and time. Whoever was in the lab appears to have recently calibrated the device. John examines the monitor. The monitor displays a town on the west coast of the United States. It appears to be his old neighborhood, but there's a factory there that he doesn't recognize. The date is December 1st, 1995, a few months before he was born. John zooms in. An old woman is escorted by her son on a lovely day. A target has been locked over the gentleman's mother. A meteor overhead looms unnoticed. They witness the destruction of the facility, collateral damage to a corporation owned by a renowned billionaire explorer. A mystery begins. John presses the blue button. He creates a paradox ghost imprint of the woman he recognizes to be his grandmother. The ghost sludge is sucked into a glass tube. He switches to 4. He switches to a monitor displaying a view of a remote island in the Pacific on December 3rd, 1995. He zooms in. A renowned billionaire explorer approaches on his yacht. An old factory lost 2 days prior, but a new shipmate gained. Together they settle the island and plunder its secrets. Wait a minute. Hey! A meteor overhead streaks unnoticed, headed towards an unseasonably warm city in the central United States. John presses the blue button. He creates a paradox ghost imprint of the man he spotted in the woods with his book. The ghost sludge is collected. John switches 3. He switches to a view of an unreasonably warm city in the central United States on December 4th, 1995. He zooms in. An outrageously awesome dude stands before a crater where his favorite records shop stood 1 day prior. He's prepared for the occasion with a small pair of outrageously awesome shades. A meteor overhead races unnoticed, headed to the lake near a laboratory on the east coast of the United States. No aquatic life would survive. John presses the blue button. He creates a paradox ghost imprint of the outrageously awesome dude. The sludge is allocated to another pair of tubes. He switches again to a view of his neighborhood on April 13th, 1996. It is the day of his birth. There is more real estate that he does not recognize near the recently devastated baked goods facility. It is a shopping mall he's never seen before. John zooms in. A professional lady new mother has traveled from the opposite coast at the behest of a famous and wealthy scientist to study one of numerous recent celestial anomalies while he's on expedition. She notices a meteor overhead on collision course with a quaint family jokes shop. A distinguished gentleman notices the lady and comes outside to greet her, oblivious to the threat above. The gentleman's mother remains inside, busying herself with a tall bookshelf, a ladder, and a rather hefty, unabridged joke book. An old mother lost today, but a new son gained. The gentleman discovers a clue. A powerful nose detects perfume. The lady has fled. The mystery deepens. But the monitor has not lost track of the lady. John presses the blue button. He creates a paradox ghost imprint of the professional lady. The sludge fills the final tube. Once all tubes are filled, an automated sequence begins to execute. 4 young paradox clones are created. There's one more button to push. Ectobiology sure does involve a lot of button pressing. At least it does when you're a junior ectobiologist. Your loyal assistant, Dr. Malgon, is all over this one. One pair of tubes empties. Go back. What? Okay. One pair of tubes empties the sludge into the chamber below. The other pair does as well. Another sequence is activated. John scales the echelon ladder. He storms up his echelon ladder to claim the coveted, if difficult to pronounce, rung, ectobiology babysitter. His ladder is absolutely hemorrhaging the boon dollars. Just what his pork hollow's fat ass needs. He surpasses 1 million boon dollars and trades it all for a single whopping boon buck. This is, of course, going directly to the college fund for these youngsters. Sure is heavy. Into the hollow it goes. Navigating the vale nearby, an old man has much to do before he returns to Earth, dies, and gets stuffed by his adopted yet biological daughter/granddaughter, and stuck in front of the fireplace. Taking priority at the moment is shipping 2 passengers long overdue for a reunion. CG trolls John. See, this is a case in point. What point? The point I was just making about the ultimate riddle. You blithering, feculent shithole. Okay, that's your cue to laugh at me some more, I guess, because you seem to really get off whenever I flame you. Humans are deranged. Oh man, I must be getting closer to the conversations where you're trolling me harder. This is pretty exciting. I can't wait to see what you've got up your sleeve. You see what I mean? Fuck you about that. Anyway, you weren't making a point about the ultimate riddle, dude. Yes, I was, and now I'm losing my train of thought, dipshit. Nope, we never talked about it. Yet. Oh, hell, that's right. Damn it, I guess this is going to be confusing. Oh, you're just starting to figure that out now? See, I kind of painted myself into a corner. I started trolling you at the end just before the rift, and then jumped back a little, and now I guess I've become railroaded into working backwards here, unless I want to be the sort of dumb... asshole hopping around like the others. Oh my god, I know, you've already told me like a million times. I have? Wow, I can't wait for all these amazing conversations to take place. It's gonna be like that one human vacation with the giant red chimney asshole up in there. You know, the one where a bunch of moany noon hook suckers sing at a little pine tree, I think. Man, I'm going to say I'm a little disappointed by this masterful trolling you were bragging about. I was bragging? Why would I bother with that sort of pedantic human horse shit? Maybe you should consider that I was bragging to get your hopes up into the future, only to let you down, and thus troll you masterfully in that respect. Maybe, but that would be pretty weak too. Your brittle human calcium-based skull is what is weak, and if you and I were in this proximity of a blunt instrument, I wouldn't have much trouble proving it. Whatever. So what was the case in point you were making anyway? I was scrolling back and noticed you were in the Veil. Whoa, I am? Yeah, dum-dum, you're tumbling around on a big goddamn meteor, and you just created younger versions of yourself and your guardians. Probably by mucking around with that thing like a doofus. Wait, these are baby versions of us? Ha, so clueless. What do you think you were doing here anyway? Well, I saw footage of my Nana, and some other people I'm pretty sure were like Jade's grandpa and Rose's mom, and stuff from a long time ago, and then there were all these little guys scurrying around, so they're like cloned copies of us? No, they are literally you and your guardians, Paradox clones. Huh? What do you mean they're literally us? Do they go back in time? Yeah, obviously, great guess, brain hero. But technically they aren't even sent back in time because with respect to the medium, your universe's timeline is meaningless. Seriously, why would it give a crap about Earth's past or future or whatever? From its perspective, it's just a bunch of points to choose from. Just like your chronology is from our perspective. But I guess that's a bunch of semantics with respect to your personal chronology. Yeah, they go back in time. A paradox clone is by definition a correctly cloned duplicate that will inevitably go back in time and become the original target that was cloned. If it's a malformed clone, it's just a meaningless mutant that has no bearing on the stable loop continuum. I don't see any tentacles or extra eyeballs or warped bone bulges, so those gross little things there are all you guys, waiting to go to Earth and grow up and become the inspired bunch of rub-fisted douchebags you all are now. And this was the point I was trying to make about the ultimate riddle. What is that riddle anyway? Maybe I can guess. I'm good at riddles. Ha, think again, ignoramus. It's not even that great, or even much of a riddle at all. In the course of your adventure, you would have encountered all these fragments of, like, weird poems and shit. You find them along your quests with clues and stuff buried in them to help you solve puzzles and move huge stone columns and make staircases appear and lots of nonsense like that. And it's all masked in this flowery sort of frothy, poetic jackassery that nobody really cares about. And I sure as hell don't care about spoiling it for you. But what all these lofty symbolic allusions boil down to is some grander statement about what you see happening here, that you are always the key to seeding your own existence through this game, and any hope that it could have played out differently, or that you could have avoided this whole mess was just a ruse. A distraction, perhaps? What? Never mind. Because if you didn't go down this way, then how were you even born, get it? Which is especially pathetic, since Paradox Space apparently went to all this trouble to make you just to have you fail and die. Really, there's nothing more tragic than these null sessions full of kids entering the game and fulfilling some cosmic destiny shit, just to get wiped out and leave behind an empty, pointless sphere for all eternity. Actually, it's sort of hilarious, or it would be if it didn't affect me personally. But anyway, there's a lot more to the riddle than just that, like what we were just talking about the last time we talked, but that's sort of the gist of the themes it deals with. Okay. Well, if I run into some salamanders who tell me about the riddle and get really excited about it, I will try to act surprised. So this is the same kind of thing you went through? With, like, being your own Paradox clones and creating your own parents and stuff? Yeah, how did that even work with 12 of you? It was really fucking complicated, and I'm not gonna get into it. Our family structures are already way more complicated than yours without even getting spooky time slime involved. Basically, we have nothing in common whatsoever except maybe this. I was the guy in your position to make all these clothes, and frankly, it all kind of freaks me the hell out. Huh. Yeah, I guess now that you mention it, I am finding it all a little strange. Oh, only just now? Fucker, you fast. I hope you don't got the mad boonbucks to pay off these speeding tickets. No, I mean the ghost stuff and paradoxes are one thing, of course. It's something else. It's just... This is really weird. What's so weird about it? Well, humans normally hatch from, like, these slimy pods, then we wriggle out as little pink larvae. Oh, really? Huh, maybe we have more in common than I thought. Hee 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 hee. Maybe those really are mutant clones and they aren't going back to seed your planet. Sure. Hell, I'm confused now that I give a shit about you and your pointless, awful lives. Hey, I have an idea. Why don't you go back to me in a few minutes? I mean, like a few minutes of my time, not yours. All of these little pink monkeys are getting way out of line and I have to tend to them. If you message me in a couple minutes, we can continue conversing in a sane, linear fashion for a change. Okay? And then after that, you can keep going backwards and then make fun of me riding my little red rocket. You can tell me I look like a silly little paradox clone fresh out of my slime tube, and that this is just a big Hersey time recess jamboree. That would burn me pretty good. Okay, that is pretty good, but I can't use it because you said it, and then later, i.e. right now, you would get the satisfaction of knowing you were the one to come up with that. So you are dealing with a pro. You can't out-troll me, so just forget about it and stop trying. Hee 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 hee. John tends to the little pink monkeys. They're scrambling all over the place. They appear to be preoccupied by some of the objects littered around the lab. At least it's keeping them busy.
I know you're dying for some candy.
John gets trolled by CG again. Okay, it's a few minutes later. Look how sane and linear we're being. Yeah. Okay, awesome. Now fuck you and goodbye. Wait, what? I was just looking at all these rascals and I was wondering, how do they go back in time and become us and stuff? Does it have something to do with the reckoning? How do you know about that? You told me. We had this great dare going to see who could be the least helpful and informative. And you totally lost, dude. You were hella helpful. I was obviously just fitting your stupid, pointless human dare. Spiting. What is a dare anyway? It's nothing. Someone says do something and then, oh, laugh, laugh. You lose if you don't do it. That isn't anything that deserves a word. We don't even have a word for dare in our language. The closest approximation would be worthless fucking bullshit waste of time for silly little children. Oh wow, is that the title of a movie too? Yes, it's the title of every dumb movie you've ever liked. Haha. That isn't even true and doesn't make sense. Anyway, how could we have made a dare if I'm moving backwards on your timeline? You would dare me to do something, then I would do it next time, but you wouldn't even remember the dare, because we didn't make it yet. That's what isn't true and doesn't make sense, you damn bag of puke. Well, yeah, the dare never happened. I was joking around and made that up to give you a hard time. You have sounding stupid down to a science. Where is your lab coat and test tubes, Dr. Brain Professor? I am wearing a lab coat, sort of. You look like an elf. That's bullshit. You look like you should be blowing into a funny little shell and limbering up for a silly cookie dance. Do we even have elves? Yes, let's compare which fantasy creatures that don't exist we both do or don't have. What a great idea, John. What? You asked about the reckoning, so why don't we talk about that instead of all these pretty much terrible things? Okay. Yeah, so when the reckoning starts happening, all these paradox clones get shipped off to meteors, flung through sky and defense portals, and sent back to Earth. End of story, I guess. Bye. Wait, so that means we're all sort of like Superman? Yeah, I guess. Cool. You all trace the mythological footsteps of your beloved superhuman Superman, who's really just a muscular Caucasian alien. It's hilarious how humans worship him as a human, as a pinnacle of human heroism and virtue, but he isn't even human. Actually, it's incredibly pathetic, but also in a way kind of admirable, because it means deep down you all must realize who your daddy is. We are bitches. Yeah, Superman is pretty cool, I guess. Did you know that Nicolas Cage was almost going to play Superman one time? Oh, my throbbing phlegm lobe. Who gives a barfing fuck about that? John Egbert, you have assassinated my patients. Adios, loser. Wait. Get back to me in a couple minutes, okay? Fine. AR shreds. He's ripping up so many hellacious shreds. This fierce shitty biz nasty is getting so deliriously rude, brazen it. Okay, he lost the handle on that sentence. Oh my god, is that what you think it is? This thing is so completely illegal? How could this atrocity be floating out here unnoticed all this time? You're going to throw whoever's responsible into the slammer. You can always you always call the jails the slammer when you're extra angry at crimes. You go in. There's a large elevator platform ahead. You go down. Below there is a dark cavernous room. Near the platform is a time capsule. It has deployed a seed and waits for something to be deposited and for the clock to be set. It is all harmless enough, still no sign of any perpetrators. He searches the premises. Deeper into the darkness of the room, there's some complicated lab equipment. Again, nothing particularly unusual for this jurisdiction. He examines the equipment. There's a large monitor. Displayed on it is a small human girl in a fancy house. The date is April 21st, 1910. 8 days prior, the orphan girl was taken in by an aristocratic sovereign colonel and legendary humorist. He recovered the young lady from a crater where a bakery once stood, operated by the man's wife, a notable baked goods baroness. There's an explosion in the colonel's backyard. Land sakes alive, we are cooking with petrol now. The colonel and his new granddaughter investigate. The impact site is where a doghouse stood moments ago. It was the magnificent abode of the man's beloved pet Hallie. He takes the belt from the old julep flask. He'd sooner perish himself than lose that dear animal. People would think reports of this man's death were greatly exaggerated, but they weren't. This is exactly why babies should not be allowed to dual-wield flintlock pistols. An old colonel lost, but a new brother gained. Oof. Aha, there's Holly. The youngsters adore their new guardian. Good dog, best friend. The young boy has difficulty pronouncing the name, though. Sounds more like Harley when he says it. AR fast forwards. 13 years later, the boy develops a taste for adventure. He and his guardian bid farewell. His sister is sad. She will be left all alone with the wicked pastry baroness. She can handle it, he tells her. He believes in her. This all seems pointless to you and immaterial to the crime that has been committed, though you find it odd that the purifier target has been fixed over that especially stupid-looking animal. You hear the elevator platform. Someone is coming. It's a high-ranking agent from your kingdom. Could he be the man behind this crime? Could his intent be mutinous? You know the agent to be far too dangerous to take into custody. You hide behind some equipment and observe. He appears to be holding some notebooks. Also what appears to be a pair of juice-stained envelopes. One of the books is useful to him. The envelopes are useless. And he couldn't make it through more than a paragraph of the other book. Some weird thing about wizards. He discards them. The spare notebook lands on the floor. The envelopes land in the seed. The time capsule stores the seed, and on account of some default setting, is programmed to bloom several 100 million years from now. The capsule then readies a new seed. The agent approaches another device near the large monitor. John gets trolled by CG, insane and linear matter. Okay, I got back to you. Are you happy? Sure, I guess. You don't even know it yet, but you're about to start passing out bunnies like they're cheap cigars. It's going to be an embarrassing display. What are you talking about? Yeah, exactly, numbskull. Let's just have our chat, then it can naturally occur to you to be an idiot in the due course of time. Okay, I was sort of mulling it over while looking at all these babies with guns and sitting on ponies and things, and how the reckoning takes them back and how you said our reckoning starts sooner, yeah? Are you sure it has to start so soon? Can't we delay it? Ha ha ha! It starts in a few minutes, stupid. See that countdown clock over there? You aren't delaying anything. Oh, dang. I guess I better get off this meteor then. Well, I mean, it doesn't happen all at once. First some smaller meteors go, then bigger ones. Spread out over like 24 hours or so. It's supposed to be like go time when it starts. Like it's time to hurry up and stop fucking around and kill the boss, get it? The rock you're on doesn't blast off right away. Too bad, because it would have spared you from making a fool of yourself in a couple minutes, and more importantly, spared me from having to watch. Okay, well, you keep saying how doomed we are and how all this bad stuff happens sooner, but you never say why. What happens in our game that's so different from yours that makes things go badly? Jack Knorr. Who's Jack Knorr? An agent of Durst who flipped out and rose to power. He killed your Black Queen and King, and now he's in charge. So you didn't have him in your game? No, we did, but he was harmless. Actually, he was an ally, sort of. He settled a grudge against the Queen by helping us to throne and exile her, and then he wound up exiled himself and sort of kept helping us through a command terminal on our old planet. He's kind of a huge asshole, though, because he took the Queen out of the picture. When we got to Sky, we only had one monarch to deal with instead of two. Of course, it was a nasty giant 12 times prototyped Black King that took forever to kill, just barely in time before the biggest meteors came, but still. I see. So after he got exiled and all that, he came here into our game and caused all this trouble? No, God, Egbert, you are thicker than that hideous joke book you waddle around with. Try to think more abstractly. Think about video games. What's an Earth game you like to play? Name one. Crash Bandicoot? Okay, I don't know what that is, but I have a feeling it's a really lame example, but that's fine, it's not the point. So let's say you play your Bandicoot and I play my Bandicoot. They're essentially the same Bandicoot, same appearance and design and behaviors, but they're still completely separate Bandicoots on separate screens. So we both have our own ass Bandicoots to observe, the same but different. Our Jacks are the same but different too. Same guy, different circumstances and outcomes. Our Jack trumped the Queen but got no further. Your Jack got the best of both of them, and is now something higher than a Queen or a King. Like an ace? Sure, okay. Okay, I think I get it. But how did he do that? What was different about what we did versus what you did? Frankly, I have no idea what the original thing that tipped the scale was. It is under investigation, but it doesn't really matter. The worst is yet to come for you. Oh no, what is the worst thing? Already told you, damn it. Oh hey, sorry, hold on, this little lady's bugging me about something. Yeah, I might as well hit it over with and let her give her the lousy rabbit already. Oh man, I just had the best idea. This is so perfect. A blonde mother and daughter together, this is totally perfect. Perfect for what? Flexing your formidable mental handicap like a fucking heavyweight for the next several minutes? Oh wait, let me check. The answer is yes. It is like that scene in Con Air. I will give her the bunny like I am Nick Cage fresh out of the slammer. Fuck! I wish I had a filthy wife beater on. Oh well. Just, John reunites his loving wife and daughter.
How do I get through one night without you? If I had to live without you, what kind of life would that be? Oh, and I need you and my arms need you the whole. You're my world, my heart, my soul. If you ever leave, baby, that would take away everything good in my life. Without you, there'd be no sun in my sky. There'd be no love in my life. There'd be no world left for me. Oh, and baby, I don't know what I would do. I'd be lost if I lost you. If you ever leave, baby, that would take away everything that's real in my life. Tell me now, how do I live without you? I wanna know, how do I breathe without you? If you ever go, how will I ever survive? Nick Smalley on guitar, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, play that shit. I hear you. I hear you in here, in my heart.
Oh man.
So good on my eardrums. Yeah. You got that Telecaster twang, swinging into my soul.
End of Act 4. Cool. Nice. Alright, that's where we'll end it for tonight. Sorry, but there won't be another stream for the next couple of days, probably until Monday or Tuesday. I gotta go out of town for a funeral. So, I'm glad I got to see this, though. This was nice. Thanks for watching if you did. Adios.